they're not incentivized to actually do Hyrule Castle that early without
It
the
looks
lamp.
like thalane is choosing to start a sanctuary, and Andy getting some bombs in Link's house.
Oh, those bombs are pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's always a nice early find to get some bombs. That looked like 3 crystals in the light world to me.
Yeah, that's for sure. So what's interesting is that escape is technically pretty clearable in Randomizer early on. Of course, again, you have the dark room issue, so not very likely to immediately check it.
Yeah, in fact, I believe just yesterday, the dark room being a lot more difficult cost Andy some time here.
So we'll see how that changes things. Early heart does help a lot.
Definitely. Because with Dark World enemies being found all over the place, having more than 3 hearts is possibly the difference between... And wow, that's a rude little fireworm underneath that bush.
Wow, that's worse than a usual bush guard.
Yeah. The nice fish on the stump over there.
Yeah, maybe he might feel inclined to go and bring that to the bottle vendor for some free items. We'll see what he does.
Does look like he got some bombs there, so it makes it less important to do so, because you do get a bomb or 2 from bringing fish to the bottle vendor, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. Also a nice 80 rupees, I think. So it is probably worth it. And there we have our first bottle already. So that makes the later Cat Creek trip a bit more worthwhile for Andy. That's something we might have to keep in mind. Wow, those are some pretty rough enemy placements with those ant fairies and escape.
Yeah, though we also saw Chain Chomp already earlier. It's always fun to just see how much things change. Though this room is very polite.
Lots of pumps early.
Yeah, if Cat Creek is making the new world proficient, you don't have to spend 50 of your precious rupees on bombs, and that's the glove, the first one.
That probably means he'll check back with escape relatively soon as well.
Yeah,
otherwise it doesn't open up too much.
It's definitely something worth checking here. Since it's not quite as easily reachable through the front in Randomizer without the lamp.
Yeah, we did not find the small key yet, so that could be the small key in the Dark Cross, which would make both runners probably pretty happy.
Yeah, having to avoid going there at all is definitely preferable. A lot of money so far, too.
Yeah. Also, our first medallion and the book. Nothing really. Oh, I already saw the book on the tracker. Well. Okay. Yeah, nothing really direct progression yet. A lot of utility items with the book and the gloves.
Yeah, it's a shame the book was found on the bottle merchant, though. I think that means that there are unlikely, especially since it's all dungeons, to just go and check the pedestal for now. And that's gonna disappoint the chat a little bit, but it's just not worth going all the way back up there if you're this far out already.
Yeah, it would be different if you enter Cat Creek from the other side, because then it's a shorter walk from Lost Woods.
Yep.
As this now, we'll probably follow a more traditional route.
Just 50 rupees in the library there, so we won't be going back there anytime soon. And thalane is just opting to go straight for the race game, not even bothering to check the item there, which is something I don't disagree with.
I think it's a solid play. I mean, you'll probably want early health as well, There's plenty of items you'll still pick up, even money. And wow, okay.
Yeah, that was the lure at the time. Of course, it's still the Moon Pearl short of having actual Dark World access, but we're pretty close at this point.
It's probably a bag of escape. So yeah, now it's mostly the hunt for the Moon Pearl. Probably just checking higher density first still. Maybe picking up the sword first.
Ooh,
Hey, Thalane, you have the mitts.
Yeah, a little bit of rough execution there. Skip going for the lower rock and wasting a second. Not that that's going to make a real difference in all likelihood.
Oh no.
There is an item in the Dark Cross, it looks like.
That's a really nice early safety to get there.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, not going for the sword, which might be a little bit awkward, considering we don't know what's in New Modern Cave at the moment.
No, but might be fine with just the bombs. We'll see. That bomb was just a little bit too high to actually hit the border. This is hard to hit the ground. Okay, this should be doable with bombs.
Yeah, this seems fine.
Mostly because you can hit. Well, the Moldorm will just die to bombs as usual, and the helmet swords are easy enough to just hit into the pit.
Nice, nice.
And the bow. It's actually a really interesting find in Randomizer because, on one hand, you think to yourself that makes it possible to do Eastern Palace, but on the other hand, since it's Randomizer, you can already do Eastern Palace, but also you don't have the lamp yet.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a real incentive to go in there yet, but it's at least a nice find.
Yeah, because we're gonna need that bow sooner or later. There's just absolutely no way around it in all dungeons.
Yep. Then that statue in Pod really doesn't do anything without the bow.
Yeah.
Thalane is showing off a little bit a couple of times with those chest turns.
Yeah.
He's feeling confident there.
Yeah, and I think the book is making him more inclined to head towards the desert right here.
Yeah. Okay. Is he going to farm up for Zora right now? He did find the flippers just now, so maybe he wants to do that over desert area without a fire source and boots.
Yeah, we'll have to see. If he
It's a
enters
little
this
bit
more than
curious.
once, we definitely know for certain that he's interested in farming a bunch of money, and I imagine he'll be going straight for the Zora money. I haven't seen this done in a tournament in quite some time, actually.
Yeah, it's okay. Just a double dip. Maybe hoping to find a 300 somewhere.
Yeah, it's interesting judgment call there. So there's a lot of pumping going on Thalane side.
Trying to save all the frames.
Yeah. I mean, can't blame him. As long as you're without boots, you might as well. Ooh.
That's the ice rod he was missing for a bit yesterday, so
Yeah.
that's a little bit of a relief.
Yeah, it's almost nice a relief, especially in all dungeons, to find that ice rod early. Of course, it's Randomizer, so for all we know, there is no Trinex, but you never know. It could be anywhere.
For all you know, there's 3 Trinexes, so...
Exactly. Could easily work out either way.
That's a nice weapon to have against things like Lambos as well, so...
Yep. It's even a decent weapon against just some random overworld enemies.
Well, there's nothing too bad in the overworld yet, so...
No, but anything can happen there.
Okay, finding all the utility items.
Yep, that's been that desert is very much Boots luck there, because this is going to be some kind of key. Yep.
Yeah, just checking the hint. Okay, not bad, not bad. Might save a little bit of time.
I actually really like getting a Swamp Palace big key or big chest hint. Considering you often end up in that conundrum where you have to wonder about, do I double back for this when I find the big key out in the bottom part of the lower part of Swamp Palace?
Yep. Okay, so with Flute and Mitz, you would say that after he finds the Moon Pearl, the Mire area might be tempting, but it does open up a small part of Death Mountain as well, and makes it easier to go to Eyeshot Cave and the Zora area.
Yeah, it definitely opens up a bunch of options. It makes checking a bunch of places a lot more convenient. It actually makes it pretty nice that he hasn't checked the Eyeshot Cave yet, like Andy's doing right now. He can get back here a bit quicker. Of course, whether he wants the net is a different matter, but...
A unique item is an Eyeshot Cave.
Because it's worth mentioning, since this is hard mode, the net does lose a little bit of its functionality because you can't catch fairies on the harder difficulties.
Yeah, and catching bees is not something you would really want to do that often.
No, it's outside of the niche use of maybe getting a good bee and selling it to the bottle fender, it's just not really worth your time.
Interesting save and quit for Flame.
Oh,
Maybe he's trying to do Wilhelm as well.
Yeah, no, that must be why he found this particular ruby count. This is going to put him right at Zora money.
I was wondering, because with the flute activation, you could just flute anywhere else. But yeah, in this particular instance, it actually makes sense.
Yeah, because you have to do the save and quit and start from Sanctuary to get this particular Houlihan set up.
Oh, the double and the swag turn on the second try. Nice. He's hoping to put his name there as well.
Of course.
There's 2 more games to go in that case. Oh, okay.
Well, yep, that certainly makes somebody happy.
At least it looks like Flame might get them soon as well. If he at least if he doesn't find the Moon Pearl in the Zora area. But
yeah, because if
definitely a nice early boots.
I could definitely see him holding off on going into the eastern area if he finds the Moon Pearl sometime soon.
Oh, now we're getting into some dangerous enemies. Lionel and Stalfo's Knight, the second room. Especially not Lionel's at first are really dangerous because you can't slash them away with just a fighter sword.
Yep. I believe it takes a spin attack at minimum to hit them with fighter sword, doesn't it?
I think you even need a Master Sword spin. I don't think Master Sword slashes do damage to them.
You might be right, actually, now I think about it. The blue guard also showing up real quick, even aside from the flippers, was why you don't often see fake flippers in Randomizer seeds.
Yeah. The weirdest thing that happens is when you get thieves on water, because they don't actually damage you, so you don't die, but you instead get sent to a really weird position and soft-lock yourself.
Yeah, you actually get the soft-lock you'd get in the vanilla game, and ooh, that's a nice hook shot, and it makes going to Dead Mountain with a flute thalane found a lot more attractive.
Yeah.
So, ooh, the lag is real here.
Okay, get the hint that Myers Shed at least has some arrows, so that devalues them a little bit. But also, that hook shot lures him away from the boots for a while.
Yeah, at least that pumping he's been doing will continue to come in handy.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So far, Andy seems to get through the dark rooms okay.
Yeah, the real tricky one is going to be the one for the key later now.
That's for sure.
Yeah, looks like he's taking the upper route. Yeah, getting bullied by something. Ooh, there was a mimic there, I see.
Mimics, yeah. Okay, you got through this one.
There's a second sword hiding under Lake Hylia Island. Yeah, now this is going to be a tricky bit. Oh, he's going to make use of his Eater medallion. Yeah, that's very clever.
Yeah, that will definitely help a lot.
This looks like a fairly friendly enemy set to begin with, anyway. Like, I think one of the wish. Oh no, that Hinox should be the one holding the key, I think.
I do think there is a Lionel in there firing at him, so...
Yeah, it looks
yeah,
like
he got
it.
the key, okay. But
Yeah,
it
he
is
just
blocking
needs
the way.
to avoid the Hinox, the Lionel there, because that Lionel could easily kill him if he's not careful. Fairly manipulable there.
Oh, one heart left. Oh no! Yeah, it's such a dangerous room. Oh, yeah. There's the lamp too.
Yeah,
what a rubber.
That'll make doing this much easier for Thalane later. He's giving the hint, interestingly enough.
Yeah. That's kind of weird.
It looks like Andy is... no, he's clearly going for a different plan, because he wouldn't be starting at Link's house if he was going back for revenge now I think about it.
Quite the welcoming party.
Yeah, you see some fun stuff in Randomizer, and the enemies in there are just being stuck in the wall in particular. Just having a dance party.
After this sequence, Andy will find his hookshot as well. He doesn't logically have access to Death Martin yet. But he also cannot actually full clear desert. Because he doesn't have a fire source yet, but he at least can explore a little bit more than just the flute.
Yeah, technically he could make it up Dead Mountain well enough, it looks like, because that dark room didn't look especially dangerous for Randomizer.
Yeah, it seemed pretty okay. Just a few Hinoxes throwing bombs, but... So depending on what he finds here, he might be incentivized with the lamp and the bow to head into Eastern.
Yeah. Yeah, because the lamp in particular makes it pretty safe. The only risk you draw with this big Randomizer is that there's like a boss you can't actually defeat yet in there, but that's the kind of thing you have to explore for anyway. Speaking of the Mire area earlier, we find the mirror, which leads to one of the more fun possible Moonpearl locations in the checkerboard cave.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still eluding us despite everything else we found. We have quite the stash already for 20 minutes in.
Yeah. Also makes me, the stash in particular also makes me inclined to think the boom pole might have been pushed to a location like that.
Yeah. We've been sent to a whole slew of locations already. Oh, okay. Extra hammer as well in King's 2.
At this rate, we're practically in go mode before we even get to the Dark World.
Yeah, the only things we're really still missing might be a medallion or two, Moon Pearl and Fire Rod, and Cane.
Yeah, we definitely need to cane. Ah, there it is at the very last. Locked behind the boots.
Those are two really nice items to find in a row.
Yeah, because the hammer is basically the key to unlocking the entirety of the Dark World, and then, well, Moon Pearl is, of course, the actual key to unlocking the Dark World.
Okay, it looks like Flame is going for Hera right now, with the mirror he just found. After that, he doesn't really have that much left.
Yeah, he's gonna have to make his play on Zora and get those boots to get the Moon Pearl sooner or later. Let's see.
Turok, Skullwoods, and I missed the third one.
The green pendant was at Swamp Palace. I didn't quite catch what the 5 and 6 crystals were now.
That's pretty interesting. So it could mean the Fire Rod is in GT. Very technically.
Yeah. I mean, this happened yesterday that the boots were in GT, so, you know, you never know. Could be all kinds of stuff there.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's a really funny hint to get in an Uncle or shirt seed.
Okay,
It's like,
and
that's the one thing you already knew before the seed started, and, well...
nice hover from Annie, getting his lamp. Let's see what the hint is. Oh, Thalane just knew it wasn't anything useful.
At least if this was comma randomizer, we know what a springboard is. So what is this pattern the tiles are making?
It looks like a crystal or something.
Might be a Metroid, actually.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that actually makes more sense. Wrong game.
You know, I was just wondering to myself what was in that chest in the basement, and I should have known it was the big key, all things considered.
Yeah, I'm always surprised when I go to the basement and find the big keys.
Yeah.
Oh right, that's what I went here for.
That's why I went there in the first place, so why am I surprised? Thalane realizes, yeah, he doesn't have a good way of killing those enemies up there, so he's just kind of locked out. It's the downside of putting off that sword that he knows at Uncle. He could have taken out the Gyptos that way, slow as it might have been.
Yeah, even with the sword, it's going to take a while, so it's not the worst idea to put this off. So Flame will also be able to check what's in the Dark Cross.
Yeah, and there should be an item there, I believe. Unless it's a map and I miscounted before.
Of course, it would be absolutely ridiculous if there's progression in there, considering what we've already found. But you never know.
Yeah, at this point it's rather unlikely, because we know what a Moon Pearl is, and at this point you'd think there would be at least some kind of progression hiding in the Dark World somewhere. I still love that hint.
Yeah, that was brilliant. So, also considering a hard mode, they are pretty healthy. 7 hearts, blue mill.
Yeah, this is a really comfortable amount of health to have, honestly. Like, you could easily and comfortably finish the season with this.
Yeah, we know where the Master Sword is. And yeah, aside from that, there's not really anything else we need. We have plenty of bottles. 3 on each.
And they just controlled a little bit by the trial room pattern.
Randomizer, man.
We'll be seeing the rest of Hera on Andy's side now, because, well, it'll take a while to kill these Gyptos, but he can kill them. Actually, I actually wonder if it will be quicker for him to slash one Gypto. Oh, he can use the hammer, actually, that'll help.
Oh, that's actual damage.
Yeah, I was wondering for a little bit if with just the sword it would be quicker to just go up and down the stairs once to reset the part, so you can at least have 2 tempered hits basically on him. But with the hammer, you don't have to worry about that.
And it would almost be worth timing, I think. Alright, so that was the second item, right?
Yeah, we found the bottle earlier in we find the key in vanilla. Very heads up to get a refill before whatever boss is waiting for Andy here. And it's Moldor, not Moldor, it's Mochila, which is, I guess, the full form of Moldor.
Yeah, actually.
Regardless, Mochila outside of Mochila's room is actually one of the easier bosses in the game, because it doesn't really have that much health.
Yeah, it's a real glass cannon. It flies around a bit and does a ton of damage, but it's also a lot easier to hit.
Yeah. Not having to worry about the floor shifting underneath you, or, hitting him into spikes. Just makes it a lot easier than it would normally be.
Alright. We'll see the entirety of Darkdeath Mountain as well on Andy's side in a little bit.
Yeah, he has no reason to not go through here.
But aside from that, it's probably going to be looking for a needle in a haystack for what we might need in the end.
Mm-hmm.
The entirety of the Dark World is open to us right now.
Yeah, that's one weird thing of how this seed was laid out. Like, those final couple items we definitely need, so the Fire Rod and the King of Samaria. This could be pretty much anywhere. It's not quite as bad as trying to hunt down an Ice Rod, because, well, the King of Samaria and the Fire Rod do unlock a couple more things, but...
Yeah, we might run into a Cold Stair or something, or a Trinex, which makes Fire Rod available earlier. But it could also mean Bombos, I guess, in the case of Cold Stair. But as things are laid out currently, it really just means Kane and whatever we need to open Misery Mire in order to enter GT at this point.
Let's see, what do we need for Total Rock? Quick.
Okay, so add that to the list. That's at least something.
Yep. It's an interesting little Wizard replacement. Honestly, the High Nox is more of an issue.
I'm not sure if you can throw a bomb over there. It will kill them out in one blow.
Doesn't look like.
Oh, no.
Ooh, I was gonna say
The
it doesn't look like he
double
needs to.
tap.
Ooh, yeah, he almost died there. Like one more of those knockbacks into falls do him in, because the high knocks do a lot of damage when you run into them. Looks like we'll be seeing whether you can hit him with the bomb there. Okay, you can. Good.
Alright. The cape's pretty nice as well.
Yeah, it's a decent item. We'll lock whatever's on bumper cape, and it's a decent safety item if we have a wall to grab to anyway.
Doesn't go for Spike Cave.
Yeah, which would technically be doable at this point with the cave, but
It's not too bad to get back to.
no, it's definitely one of the quicker Dark Mountain locations to get to. And I guess he figures there's significantly more item-dense locations you can go to instead.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's nice to see what was actually in these dark rooms that we haven't been able to see before.
Yeah, we had a reasonable guess, but
Alright, Hype Cave. Gives them mushroom. Okay, that's not particularly exciting.
yeah, though it does give you that classic randomizer conundrum where you're wondering, should I keep this mushroom around until I get the Cane of Samaria so I can check the bat too, or should I just use it?
Yeah. Could potentially hard reset after you save and quit and turn it in or something, but hard to say what
Yeah.
the most efficient option is.
Lionel is in a much better position from thalane here.
Yeah, got through it a lot more cleanly. But yeah, they have the benefit of actually having a light cone. It's kind of an unfair comparison.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier. It's an interesting placement for that spike, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's perfectly placed to just be in your way. This room just looks very familiar outside of the shadow guy. This one doesn't.
Yeah, this is quite a difference. The red berries are so frustrating to deal with.
Yeah, they are.
So routing-wise, I'm not really sure how I feel about any decision to go into Pound, because there are dungeons where it's quicker to get to the boss.
Yeah, and we're definitely at the point right now where figuring out what boss is where is important, and thalane was practicing this fight before the race. It wasn't with the master or the fighter sword.
But at least it's something he can clear. That helps a lot.
Yeah, that definitely helps. And in a way, it's just as well Andy didn't make it this far, because he wouldn't have been able to kill this boss at that time anyway, because he didn't have the hookshot yet.
Yeah, but the added knowledge would have helped already. We're going for the quad ice rod kill. Phase 2 was almost more of a pain.
Yeah.
And remembers that the item drops in the middle just in time.
Yeah, that's something that is always confusing me for Randomizer. Like, I know why it's done, because if Tridec spawns in a room, he can be lured outside of the room in his final phase, and it would be really bad if he dropped his item outside of the room, obviously, but it's still kind of weird to get used to if you don't play Randomizer often.
It's so unintuitive.
Yeah, it does look like he's gonna... Yeah, thalane should be picking up his moon pill soon, looking at where he's going now.
Yeah, really, the world is his oyster right now. You can check actually everything he wants.
There's so many options open to him. Especially with the hammer too. I'd actually forgotten it was in King's Tomb for a minute.
Yeah, all those boot spawns with good items.
Speaking of the cape being handy.
You would almost be inclined to just hammer you up in order to avoid all that. Lots of spikes and anti-fairies this seed.
Yeah.
Crazy. Alright, thalane decides to just go into Village of Outcasts. Oh, there's the King of Samara.
Yep, one item closer.
Would really like to know what we need from Meyer.
Yeah, Andy isn't in a position to check that, unfortunately, and Thalane is going for something more item, if less information dense. And I guess as long as he doesn't have to Caden, the Meyer area isn't really on the forefront of where he wants to go.
Yeah, especially with the knowledge that at least Meyer Shed is only has one potential item.
Yep.
Yeah, potentially we right now could enter GT with the items that we have, or with the knowledge that we have.
Yeah, Andy will.
It's pretty crazy.
I know why Skulls is actually. Never mind, Skulls isn't fire rod locked. Yeah.
Now, Skulls is a pendant. We will need it in the end.
Yeah, I can definitely see. Like, it's definitely a possibility that the fire rod is just waiting for us in Ganon's tower.
That was an interesting way to climb stairs. Alright, I'm curious to see what's waiting for us in Pod. Another Argus and Thieves stand. Nice.
Oh no. This is gonna be the old Argus seed, is it? Oh no, wait, I don't think Argus can spawn in a couple of the bigger rooms, but also we saw Modula already now I think about it.
Yeah, we've seen what was in Hera, and it could be anywhere else, right? I'm not sure about Turtle Rock, actually.
Yeah, I don't know either. Probably. Look, I think it's just the bigger rooms that are a problem for Argus. We've got a bit of sort of classical ammo, except you can't use the top of the room, which is kind of annoying, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. But classic NMG, and he has enough practice with this.
No, he never plays this category.
Yeah, I'm sad about that. He did say he was planning on coming back, and now I publicly called him out on it, so you guys can all bother him after this tournament ends.
Yeah, he prefers some of the more glitched categories usually, doesn't he?
Yeah, usually, definitely. He said he was planning on doing a variety of categories, but he did name NMG. He asked Josh to actually just massacre his PB with an analysis. So he might actually be serious about it this time, which is cool.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if he even has run it since the discovery of the spooky action glitch.
I do believe his latest PB was with Spooky, and he also ran it a couple of weeks ago. I even believe along with 100%.
Okay, so it hasn't been that long.
Yeah, Andy redipping Eastern. Going to find his Argus waiting at the end. So that was a nice combo from Andy, being able to efficiently clear this area again.
Yeah, the only downside for him is that he's gonna have to do a fight Sword Argus. Or a menu boss Argus, but the fight Sword Argus is, I believe, a tiny bit quicker.
Yeah. I mean, but both are terrible.
Yeah, for different reasons. I guess he didn't check the big chest here before. Time for a little bit more perilous than usual hammer dashing.
Ice course in this area. That's pretty disgusting.
I've seen, at least. Like, the worst I've seen is if there's a couple of chain jumps hiding there.
Oh no. Yeah, okay.
There's some nice double hooking going on there on Andy's side.
Yeah, definitely notices even lower than low percent strats, which run plenty of hell sanity like seeds.
Yeah. And hammer. Hammer's a decent option. Take 4 cycles in this phase. Don't think you can land double hits with it. It's kind of tricky to land hits anyway.
Technically, you could do it with Ice Rod.
Yeah.
But...
yeah, and I just realized he doesn't even have the Ice Rod, so this is basically his best option.
Okay, well, all the swords were easily accessible at least.
Yeah, very conveniently located.
We won't have to grab the one on Hylia Island this way.
Yeah, unless he really wants the 20 rupees it's turned into now.
Unless he wants to go back to Zora and buy another, or was it, Piece of Heart? Yeah, we even found another couple of hearts, so I think the max in heart is 13. So we're actually pretty close to that.
Yeah, we've been, and this seed has been pretty relaxed so far. Like, you could almost think this was a normal male seed. Ooh, that's a good find.
That's a really good find.
Guess Purple Chest is kinda out of the way, so getting an actual good reward for it is, it's always a nice feeling.
Okay. Swamp Dip is pretty interesting as well. I guess it kind of feels the same as going into Pod.
It's a pretty similar item then, it's just actually routing through swamp, spitting Athenians. Know from yesterday that thalane is fond of skipping the left side of swamp. Maybe not yesterday, maybe it was 2 days ago.
Yeah, it was 2 days ago. That was definitely the big decider in the second phase. Okay, well, there's the quick hint, probably.
Yeah, that must be. At least from what we know so far, that almost must be the quick hint.
Yeah, so it looks like Andy is just going to follow Thalane's footsteps right here. It's kind of hard to say who has the advantage right now. It's mostly the flute versus cane.
Yeah, both of them are equally important, so at least the flute Foot does have some advantages in allowing to lane a little bit quicker over World's Reversal, but it's with the way the see the Shaken's out so far, that isn't making too big a difference.
Yeah, especially considering that Andy found the boots quite a while earlier. So that might have balanced out a little bit. Andy does have a dungeon more cleared at the moment, so we'll have to see how it shakes out in the middle phase.
Mm-hmm. On the positive side, this time Thalane won't be forgetting that he needs the Tower of Hera before Ganon's Tower.
I did hear that he actually wrote down it was all dungeons this time, so all we can do is hope. Okay, that's 2 items already. So, okay, it does look like he's going straight to left side.
Yeah, doesn't want to risk happening what happened in Game 2 again, I imagine.
Oh man, those rollers.
Yeah, these are some nasty rooms. Like, I'd normally consider Swampfall as only a difficult dungeon if you're playing one-hit KO modes, but this is a different matter.
Yeah, I always see Swamp as the Dark World escape. There's nothing that will cost you a ton of time, but there's just so many little RNGs that you have to adapt to.
Yeah.
In this case, there is just a lot of big things in your way. Even chain charms, man.
Yeah, though that one is out of the way enough, that's pretty safe.
So it is going to matter a little bit if Andy is going to pick up the dwarf on the way back here, or if he just decides to check
I could definitely see him being tempted into just going into that area, because you can do one additional check there too with the mushroom and the Cave of Samaria.
Alright, yeah. Might be tempting to just clear out this entire bit, take the purple chest, and then enter desert as well.
That would actually be a really convenient route for him. That would definitely pay off with the flute being in Desert Palace and that being definitely required. It's, unlike when Thalane went there, he is in a position where he could potentially clear Desert Palace too. Getting a bit more bullied by the Igors here.
That bank gator is still in the wrong dungeon.
Yeah, just moving to slightly warmer climes.
Ah, that's why it was a red one, I see. It all makes sense now. If Andy wants to, he can also fake powder right now.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I expect he is actually heading in this direction, because there are a lot of very convenient checks here. It does seem to be heading straight for that. He doesn't have a particularly good way of draining his magic, though. Like, Decay put the lamp on his best bets here.
Yeah. Alright, that's a Lamo. Nothing really dangerous or annoying to fight against.
It's very rat Lamo, I gotta say.
It's because of the climate.
Oh yeah, I guess. It's land mode to interacting cooler climates.
Yeah, exactly. So Thalane is maxed out on his equipment right now. Fire shield, blue mail, tempered sword.
Yeah, we won't be getting anything better than that in hard mode.
Oh, I've been messing up the entire time. We don't have GT axes. Because we need either fire rod or bombos for ice ballast.
Ah, you are correct.
I'm a big numpty.
Yeah, oh well.
We haven't seen Pyramid yet, have we?
No, I don't think so. Just the red boomerang. Not gonna see that picked up, nobody wants that.
Yeah, it's strictly inferior one.
That's just the blue boomerang. Slightly more range and a lot more lag. Nobody wants that.
It's easily the worst part about running any 100% category of this game.
Yeah, you have to replace your boomerang with the worst one.
But yeah, with everything that Andy's going to pick up here, it's probably going to make up for a lot of the disadvantages he had.
Yeah, he's probably also going to be start winning more information in the process. Because for him, it's quite attractive to just check whether he can complete Misery Mire already.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, now we're going to see the rest of Desert Palace. This should be a small key. Looks like the mushroom wasn't worth the payoff anyway, and Thalane is opting to keep the mushroom through a hard reset there.
Yeah, it seems pretty logical. It's a bit of a time loss, but
yeah, it's, well, as far as he knows, that mushroom, well, the powder might lead to something important. We know it doesn't, but
yeah.
It does look like he's heading to Palace of Darkness yet, which is good. Next, which is good news because the Kid of Samaria is hiding there for him.
Yeah, that might incentivize him to go either to Dark Death Mountain or to the Mire area, or both.
Yep, because with Trinex being possibly randomized into something else, he might be in a position where he can possibly complete Total Rock. You'd rather still have the Fire Rod for it, just because of the Fire Rod locked right side.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there is a way where... I guess if 2 items are... Or like...
Yeah, if there are no
combos
keys behind the right side, you can't clear the dungeon.
Seems pretty unlikely, but you never know.
It is rather unlikely, yeah.
But he hasn't checked Dark Death Mountain at all yet, so it is quite a bevy of locations for him.
And we find the first blind of the seed. Always a little bit more difficult to find blind in Randomizer, just because he immediately starts off in that top position instead of starting just a little bit lower when you do it normally.
Yeah, also lacking the free first phase hurts a little bit.
Yeah. At this
Andy
point, they're
is
good enough
crushing
now.
it.
These, well, the runners here are skilled enough and they're also good enough that a blind shouldn't give an issue regardless of where he is.
Yeah, that's very true. That's the 5th dungeon already for Andy.
Yeah, going through this is quite a pace, honestly. He'll also be picking up his ice rods along the way, so that's one less worry about the Trinex in a way.
And aside from the first setback in Eastern, Andy has just been crushing it. Thalane hasn't made any bad plays at all yet so far, but just the sheer speed at which Andy is doing it right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and his routing ended up working out a little bit in his favor, I'd say.
Yeah, the flute and the ice shot really haven't given such a solid advantage.
No.
Andy fighting them right now might actually just
Yeah, no,
lead
I think
him to what he needs.
Yeah, I think the fact that Andy has had to double dip less, even though he hasn't had those items, have overall saved him more time than the flute has saved Thalane.
Yeah. It really has been the desert double dip versus the eastern double dip in this case.
And he's also going to be disappointed by the 10 arrows hiding here. The Gate of Burner does not provide invincibility, so that isn't actually a viable way of getting through that spike, though a damage boost works just as well.
It's so easy to forget that burnout doesn't work.
It's a little bit of a weird change, but hard mad. And also Quake for Misery Maya.
Alright, so we really just need to fire rod.
Yep, that's the one item I'm missing for completion of this seed. Of course, getting that fire rod might involve getting bomb bows and then killing a full Stair or something like that, you never know, but at this point we can just say the fire rod is all we need.
Yeah, it can be some wacky sequence of events that lead us there. We'll see soon enough. Oh, both runners combined have cleared so much already, actually.
It's been interesting because this started the Dark World with such a very divergent route, and Thalane is only now really crossing back on what Andy has done before. Now, let's see if he has a clean Maya too.
There is no having a clean Mario 2 with these enemies.
No, the leaves are some of the worst enemies for now.
At least there is no BMOs in here.
Yeah.
I would almost expect Annie to just go straight to the boss. But
Yeah, if he was actually,
a bit more.
yeah, if he had the fire rod, I imagine he would have done so. But in this particular case, it's worth at least checking very quick Maya chests for the fire rod. It's probably more than that, honestly.
Yeah, if it is called Stair or Trinex, then going all the way to the back is pretty painful. That's very true.
A little bit of ice rot on Lemmo, we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, the slow fire rod.
Yeah, it's equally effective at the very least.
Yeah, it's just really hard to get used to the different timing.
Yeah.
Alright, cutscene chest. Long wait. Is this what we're looking for?
Might very well be. Fire rod being locked, but requiring the lamp just because of this room is a timeless classic.
Oh. Okay. Well, I guess we know where we're going to next time.
I mean, at least both the items were on the left side, it looks like. And so, yeah. The items themselves may not have been wood, but that hint definitely seems like it's worth the time spent waiting on that cutscene.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, those are possibly two locations where the fire rod could be. Both
Yep.
Pyramid Ferry itself and the shovel spot.
And we're rather low on unique items to begin with, so, you know.
Yeah, it could even be Bombos, of course.
Yep, all kinds of options.
Yeah, almost guaranteed. It's because we know where the red boomerang is. Do silvers count as a unique item?
That's a very good question, which I don't know the answer to. Oh, this is an interesting room for Helmasaur. No, wait, no, he doesn't go far enough up for the poison to be a problem. I think the hammer poke's a little bit trickier, but with Tempered Sword you don't really need those.
Just a very clean fight overall. Yeah, I don't think there's a way he doesn't just beeline to the big bomb shop.
Yeah, no, now he has access. He has access to it. He has access to it for a while actually, and he knows there's a shuffle and an actual unique item now.
But yeah, I think the only other item it could be would be powder. So
yeah, that would be a bit of a stinker for rewards, but at this point, he has no reason not to do that, especially since Andy hasn't actually checked the pyramid itself yet. Like, it's just the red boomerang hiding there, but for all he knows, the fire rods could still be waiting for him.
yeah. Nice damage boost in order to be able to dash right afterwards.
Yeah, it requires a little bit more improvisation here in Randomizer. That wasn't bad place, that was nice.
Oh no! He's getting so unlucky.
And I see somebody asking in chat, well, the bosses are random. One thing we always need to fire out for is opening the back of Skullwoods, and since it is all dungeons, we're gonna have to go back to that sooner or later.
Alright, so it's not actually go mode yet, but we do have
No.
access to... Most likely have access to GT now.
Now we can still have that fire out in GT you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that's... Okay, Shovel Spot first, and then probably Ice Palace, I would take a wager at.
Yeah, it's... I mean, it also still has to do Swamp Palace at some point.
Yeah, that's very true. Oh, well. Well.
Okay, so we're in for a nice, quick and easy Ganon fight. A nice, quicker and easier Ganon fight, considering he already has the Tempered Sword.
Yeah, Notify was just elementary.
I don't know, maybe we'll get that one cycle in the final phase now.
Yeah, 3 extra hints in here as well, so that might lead to the last unique item we don't know about.
The one killable enemy is the one that drops the key. Good use of hookshot invulnerability there, actually. The most rarely seen enemies in the game, the ropes with skulls on.
Where are they even?
I believe they're in I believe they're in the upper room floor of Thieves' Town if you pull the fake lever trap there. It's one of those things that you never have a reason to do.
Next time I ever do a randomizer seed, I'm definitely going to try that out.
The pull master is also such a nasty thing.
Yeah. Wow, even in Mire as well, okay.
Okay, and Andy has just now knows he doesn't have to bother with the left side of Swamp, even if he does go there before using Go Mode.
That's another little time save he gets. And this point, oh wow. Nice hover again.
Yeah,
At this
it's
point,
casual.
it's gonna be rough for Thalane because it does look like the seed is going into a choke point right now.
Yeah, there's only so many points left in the boats, just going towards the same spot. Like at this point, I believe Andy has basically checked the same things the lane has, with the exception of Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Like the big equalizer, at least he gets this hint, which, well, is important for getting into Ice Palace. At least as far as we are aware.
Okay, not even finishing Mire. That could hurt a little bit. So he does have to come back.
And did Lane just skip out of Mystery Maya without actually defeating the boss?
Yeah, you might be afraid that either Cold Stair or Trinax is in the back.
Yeah, maybe. That's an interesting choice. Especially with that kind of annoying Maya 2 room.
Yeah, especially in Randomizer, it's going to cost a lot more time to get through those rooms.
Yeah,
So
because
it's definitely a bigger investment.
Yeah, I imagine the hints made him think maybe the fire rod is here and will save some time, but the fire rod is the key to unlock, making it so that it can definitely beat all the bosses in the game, regardless of where they are.
Oh, nice damage boost from Andy there. Saving a little bit of time getting through those spikes.
Then he lost the time by missing the hook shot.
Those terrible, terrible thieves, man. Fully not even checking shuffle spot.
Yeah, he's gonna miss out on Silver, so he looks like he also wants to use this bomb burst to go straight into Ice Palace.
Man, there's wall masters everywhere.
Yeah. And the real nasty one is if there's one in the room before Quartz there, because it's timed just right that you're right in the middle of doing all the statue pulling and such.
And if you don't expect it, I don't see the shadow.
Yeah. That doesn't look like there's one here this time.
That almost beats the one at the end of GT.
Yeah. It looks like another Lambo.
The bosses have been really generous.
Ooh, this is a very pink Lambo. Interesting.
Oh no, thalane!
Yeah, Thalane did get wall mastered there. Oof.
Such a nasty room too, with that red beetle.
Yeah, it's a very annoying placement for it.
Okay, so GT is open. Do you think Andy will go straight there?
I mean, he's been putting off Swamp Palace for so long. At this point, I don't almost have to say he's going to go there. But it looks like he is, in fact, going to Swamp Palace and not GT. Dead rock in the bush. Oh, that's amazing.
Just Randomizer things, man.
On the positive side, Andy should have a quick clear through Swamp Palace because he has the knowledge of what's in the big chest, and that left side of Swamp the only productive thing in there is access to the big chest, and well, he doesn't need some cash.
Yeah, he's not short of money at all. I think he still has all the bottles he got. So.
Yeah. This is... Well, it's not going to be a go mode Swamp Palace because he will be looking for the fire rod. It's going to be a relatively quick one. Because the real time consumption really comes from checking the left side or having to double back for the big chest.
Yeah, and the main annoying enemies were on the left side as well. I think the rest was pretty gentle.
Yeah, I don't remember anything nasty. mean, there's a couple of enemies in this part that do hit hard. It's just they're also enemies that are kind of trivial to deal with.
Yeah. Especially with the current equipment. If we were stuck on Fighter Sword and just a few items, then it would be very different. But there's so little that is actually threatening to them at this point that it's just recognizing how to deal with them.
Yep. Positive side, these flooded rooms are, I believe, guaranteed to be vanilla due to the way the fact that regular enemies don't work too well underwater.
Yeah, that's very true. And he didn't get hook dash, so he didn't get the instant pop pickup.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to spam the button a bit higher instead.
Oh, being getting bodied just around the Lonely Firewall room. Just that one shade. Those are such annoying enemies.
Yeah, I'll always catch you unawares.
So it will be interesting to see how much Andy will decide to clear before actually heading to GT.
Yeah, because after Swamp Palace here, he's basically... he can either risk going into Total Rock and seeing if he can find the fire out there and just clear it, and then I hope on the fact, then bank on the fact that he won't have to reclimb that mountain that way.
Yeah. That's
It's always risky to go into Total Rock without the fire rod.
If he gets locked out really quickly, then it doesn't hurt as badly.
True.
Ooh, I'm getting hurt quite a bit here.
Yeah, on the positive side, the boss in Swamp Palace is just another Lambo, or Ice Palace, I mean. So it shouldn't be too bad even if he enters it on low health.
Yeah. And he does still have a red bubble, I think. But man, yeah, having to deal with this does cost a lot of time.
I don't blame him for using the bombos here, though, because it's actually quite a threatening situation at 1.5 hearts, even in Blue Mail. Yeah, looks like he's going to get his Cage of Burner from Massage Runner instead.
It's another unique item. There could have been so many misleading... Ooh, okay, I was getting a little bit scared there for Thalane, because he almost... well, it's actually called Andy blocked himself there. If you push that block diagonally, it simultaneously causes the door to open and close, and then it stays closed after you're done. And then you have to go back up and go into the ferry room, and then reset the block.
I'd never seen that. That's hilarious.
Okay, so here's the mountain climb. We'll see what it goes. Maybe just a quick Turtle Rock dive to see if you can actually proceed a bit further.
Yeah, I could definitely see wanting to do that. Because if you just get locked out with the first key not being, the first and only chest you can open not being keyed, and extra knowledge, you're not going to find the fire rod anywhere in there.
Yeah. And you're not really losing anything either. You need to get the key anyway.
Yep.
Or whatever. Well, you don't really need to... You open the chest anyway. Thalane doing the fake power.
He also gets the hint there. And that was the hint for the boots, if I read it right, which
Yeah.
helpful, but not helpful.
Man, there are so many possible hints. Unique item in a hermit's closet, sage's closet, very friendly person.
Andy is mirroring out, and I imagine he's heading to Ganon's Tower next. Let's see if he goes left from here, or if he just mirrors and flutes. No, he's definitely going into Ganon's Tower, and I think some people were already getting antsy for it, so I guess I just thought it up. Bother explaining it, but I think everybody knows the deal by this point.
20 locations, one big key. Take you guys. Okay, good luck.
Just gonna be behind Ice Blind anyway.
Also, like 20-something locations. Fire Rod, take you guys.
Interestingly, the fire rod can't be locked behind the right side of Ganon's Tower because it is considered a required item for those particular rooms.
Yep. Yeah, you could technically bomb jump, but there's no reason to do that right now.
Yeah, because you want to hunt down that fire rod either way, so... Well, he doesn't even find a key here.
What overworld locations have we not checked at this point? Catfish and Graveyard Ledge? Well, there's the big key.
That's a nice and early one.
I think this means, depending on the amount of keys on left side, the fire rod could be upstairs.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about the specifics there. There's probably someone in chat who can correct me on that point.
Now, I know there's 4 keys to be found in Ganon's Tower in total, just on the pods or on enemies, but the exact specifics of what rules, whether you are supposed to be able to go upstairs or not, is complicated. Andy numptying things up a bit now.
Thalane doing the Dark Death Mountain dip. It's probably not the worst idea because those were at least 7 locations he could check.
Yeah, and he hasn't been up here before, so he's gonna find out that Rock is fire rod marked real soon, and then check the rest of the locations here. He's gonna be able to dive into Ganon's Tower just yet, though, because of skipping out on Maya earlier.
Yeah, we can finish Hera as well. So, yeah, it does make sense. Him not finishing Maya just hurts in this situation. Oh, I guess the single arrow was another possible unique item.
Yep, running real low on those now, though.
Thalane. Oh no.
Yeah, this was classic. If you're really deep into Randomizer seed, it can be really easy to forget just tiny little details, especially because not having fire rod by this point is such a rarity.
Yeah, there's only a few select runners who have the experience of missing the fire rod for such a long time.
I like how that fire bar is synced up exactly wrong every single time you enter this room, because it's the new super tile.
Ah, yeah.
What is this? This is Ice Blind.
Unbelievable. Okay, he's not forgetting about the big chest. I was worried for a little bit.
Yeah, it's an easy one to forget, just because that's... Well, under normal circumstances, it's just Not really a thing you think about. Well, unless you're a new MG runner, in which case you go for this just because it's got red mail in it. But
Okay, nothing in GT. It would be quite something if it's Star Room, though.
yeah, I mean, could be Tower Room, because Andy did skip that. Could be upstairs here too.
Yeah.
We might
I
actually
think,
be seeing the rare situation where Andy is actually forced to not half of the gap because he has to check that chest.
Unbelievable. He has to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, he's getting very low here, and at least the refill room is pretty close at this point, but we get a little bit getting your specs here. Oh no, wait, never mind, the specs are randomized, that's true. There could be all kinds of things hiding here. Yeah, I choose one of those potions.
Okay, he has 3 blue potions left, there's no danger at all. Okay.
Yeah, and at this point you don't need those fairies, so you might as well skip them. Now the gauntlet here is always interesting, because sometimes it's a lot easier than it is in vanilla, and sometimes you just get the enemies that are the absolute worst. This doesn't look too bad so far. This is like a remix of Academ's Tower.
Yeah, it's Agate Tower Plus, I guess. Which I guess GT would be, usually.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. The bomb festival explodes.
Okay. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, I didn't know this would count as an enemy sprite for the door check.
Oh.
Oh, hey, that's a problem. I guess we aren't clearing GT yet.
Oh, and he leaves. Okay.
Yeah, he's opting to skip the tower room. I guess he's going for the spike cave. We saw on Thalane side that the fire rod isn't there, so there could be all kinds of interesting things happening at this point, actually.
Yeah, this... I mean, if it is Tower Room, then that equalizes things a little bit. But I do think Andy would have enough of an advantage as it is. But there is the fire rod.
Yeah, that means...
So thalane is in go mode first.
Yeah, that means thalane is now in a position where he'll just clear the remaining dungeons and go into GT, and he'll be able to just find the big key and climb straight up. The big key was located very early on the torch, and with no real option to go to the right side to begin with, thalane is going to find that one real quick. So this might actually serve as a good equalizer, especially if Andy spends time checking things, checking various places he has skipped over before.
Yeah, Skullwoods really is one of those locations you just avoid unless you have said fire rod.
Yeah, like Dark Cross here is something Andy hasn't been in. He hasn't checked the back of Thieves Town, I believe, because both of them opt to go straight for the boss.
Yeah, I don't exactly remember how many items they found in the front, but... yeah, it really depends on how long he waits.
Yeah, it does look like it is very sensible on his part to do Academ's Tower while he's in the area anyway.
Yeah, it's probably the closest he'll be, unless he does it after GT, I suppose.
Yeah, like mirroring after
There's no...
GT always seems like a good option to me. But if you're here, you might as well. Some time to think about where he hasn't been and what he'd rather check to. Ooh, this is not a fun room for Helmasaur. So you do get to see party time Helmasaur.
He's so happy to finally see a friend again. It's been so long.
I love what the conveyor belt does to his tail.
He's just like an excited puppy. I mean, if you've ever seen the official art of Hamasaur, you would think he's more adorable than he actually looks in game. My guitar doesn't look too bad. There is a few Lionels here and there, but not really in the way.
Yeah. The enemies that you have to kill so far have been pretty easy enemies for the most part. Oh, hey, hello. As we know, these are just regular Igors that you can kill with your sword, because Randomizer, at least for now, never places enemies that you have to kill and that you have to kill with anything but like regular, very regular weapons.
So at this point, the big differences are that Thalane will be able to... Well, no, he can't use Spooky here because of Randomizer. At least it's highly unlikely he'll be able to Spooky in here.
Yeah, at best, like, you can reliably Spooky the second room where you deal with it, but the first room is just up to RNG and what enemies decide to spawn there, and it's very rare that it's enemies that actually work for it.
But he will be able to at least only have one extra Death Mountain climb right now. He'll be able to do TR into GT. And he will be able to as well, but he does... This will be his third time climbing. Yeah, well... Andy is going to be... around... It's hard to say, really. Like,
yeah,
how much
really
slower
difficult
is
to say.
Tower
Yeah, especially because, like, for Thalane, we know how long it's going to take, because he's now at the position where, barring bad RNG and where items spawn into rock, he's just going to clear to the dungeons. That's quick. It does look like he's trying to set up for Spooky. This room isn't cooperative for it, looks like. Oh wait, it doesn't have to be in anyway. He does have an anti-fairy there, so it could have been possible. I think the bubble works too.
Yeah, it did look like it was possible, but he might want to conserve magic as well.
Yeah, that's actually pretty sensible considering maybe Trinax waiting for him. Like, it isn't a Trinax, it's Hamasaur, I believe, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah. It looks like Andy is going to do Catfish into Graveyard Ledge.
That's really good news for today.
And then move to Skullwoods, I guess, that way?
That would make the most sense, yeah.
That could be really close then.
Yeah, definitely, because the longer Andy delays going to Skullwoods, the better it is for Thalane. Because at this point, Thalane has taken over the lead when it comes to dungeons cleared overall. So I guess Academ counts as a dungeon.
Yeah, they're pretty much tied now. Where were the silvers?
The shuffle, I believe.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so Thalane is definitely not going to pick up the silvers.
Yeah. Though that's a solid 40-50 seconds that Andy has over Thalane there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the final Dead Mountain climb on Thalane's side.
Yeah, this is quite exciting.
Yeah,
it's crazy how this scene unfolded.
Yeah, it's incredible part is just how things changed by that fire rod being found by thalane here. Because if that fire rod had been in GT, Andy would have had a commanding lead, but at this point it's anybody's race.
Yeah, I really thought it was all but over, but it just seemed to work out perfectly. For thalane, at least. I mean, your mileage may vary in that case. But, I mean, I don't think you can disagree that a game 5 between these two would be absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it would be excellent. In game 5 we also get to the point where a bot will choose the settings for them, with them both getting a veto. So it'll be interesting to see what they veto.
Yeah.
But Andy making his way into Skullwoods now. He'll be finding his fire rod shortly. It's on the left side there. I do believe a key was found in this chest here.
Alright, and Andy's in go mode now as well.
Yep, just Skullwoods and Turtle Rock for him. Well, it's just Turtle Rock and Agatower for thalane. But for thalane, the routing actually works out pretty conveniently because you can just mirror away after Aga2 to immediately go into Agatower. It's a lengthier dungeon than Skullwoods is there.
Yeah, it's really depends on how big this lead is that thalane like built up over the course of this hunt. I think it's really tight.
Yeah, it does look really tight to me too. Almost thought it was going to get grabbed at a Walmart there.
At this point, every single execution mistake feels like it's gonna cost you the race.
Yeah. Imagine both runners feeling that at this point, because both of them have spent a lot of time finding items that were available much earlier than they actually got them.
Yeah, like we had this huge hunt for bombos, and then it turned out that the firewall was just available really early.
Yeah, like if either of them had gone into the front of Skullwoods on the first Darkwood visit, we'd actually be looking at somebody fighting Ganon right now, I imagine.
Yeah, the big hunt would be for Quake then, rather, most likely.
Yeah. God. I'm glad it was the last time we get to see Partytime Helmasaur here.
Yes, no more friends. Okay, it's time to see how much of a lead Andy builds up over the course of this. I hope people took a note of when thalane entered Turtle Rock, because this will be really interesting to compare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it might actually... It might not look like it, but I think Andy might actually have a slight lead just because of the time Agatower is going to take.
Yeah, I didn't take a note of how many blue balls there were.
It was like 1 or 2, I think. It wasn't
so
many.
Maybe not too bad. A normal NMG Agatower is around 2.5 minutes, so I think in Randomizer you can say 3 minutes. And then I guess Aghanim itself is like a minute with 1 or 2 blue balls.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I want to say it was only a single lightning for Aghanim.
Oh, it was 3 blue balls. Okay. So yeah, that's an extra 30 seconds. Or 24 seconds, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just the average Ganon.
Yeah. Yeah, not an average seat though. It was quite the roller coaster. And another Armos, okay.
It's actually kind of interesting. It looks like he does have the setup right for the quick kill. I actually have a difficult time due to the different visual cue.
Yeah, it is quite different. Really well done.
Yeah, looks like the lane cleared and Turtle Rock pretty much like half a minute or so after Andy entered it.
And I think you can say that Turtle Rock is about 5 minutes. So
It's definitely on the longer end.
So Thalane does have the cutscene. He does have to look for the big key. That could be like the 30 seconds or a minute. That might actually matter.
Yeah, let's see. I wonder if he does the silly thing and goes for the tower room, because that would be really costly at this point.
But there's no key on the right side. Oh no, he doesn't need a key on the right side. Oh,
yeah, no,
I see.
can't. The tower room you can go into immediately. That one's just some Mario blocks. See, goes right chest first, and makes me inclined to think, yeah.
Okay. Everyone can take a deep breath, can release their breath now.
Yep, there we go. Big key in hand. Thalane starts to climb. After picking up the key, I guess. Building reverse at 142.40. But at that point, Andy's pretty much at the halfway point, I'd say, for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I think it might be the silvers that actually are going to matter at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising to see. But on the other hand, silvers don't save enough time for it to be worth picking them up for Thalane, even if he happens to know where they were.
Yeah, I mean, it evened out in the time investment, of course, so Andy would have been ahead if he didn't pick them up.
Yep.
But as things stand now, it is the difference maker. And going for a traditional spike skip room, as if it was spike skip room.
You gotta try. Ooh, this room is getting a bit rough. The ball and chain guards are pretty tough, actually.
Yeah, they're really hard to approach. Okay, this is going
especially on a moving platform. Like normally with a 10-foot sword, you probably just use spin attack to kill them, but if you're constantly being moved away from them, it gets kind of annoying.
He's not taking too much damage though. Just takes a bit longer than he would like, probably. Oh no, these red guards on ice.
Yeah, no, red guards on top of you on ice is a nightmare. Like, it's really hard to get out of that. Yeah, this gauntlet costs a lot of time. It's also difficult to get well, it's impossible to get the one cyclones right next here, but it's also difficult to even get the ice head before it lags up the room like crazy by trying but failing to create the ice floor.
Oh, he did get the one cycle. But that shooter is so frustrating.
Yeah. It's also just perfectly in the way, like, even next Trinex move earlier, I didn't know Trinex actually obeyed the hazards on the room for that. I figured he was just completely hard-coded in the final phase.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the ghost of trying extra shell there. Doesn't hurt you. That was one of those lizards. Oh god. Yep, Andy is starting his climb now. It's gonna be back on his climb now. I'm gonna see. Should be able to get a good gauge on the difference between him when he enters at 146.10. Thalane enters at 142.40. Yeah, we're definitely in the range where the silvers might be the difference maker on the results here.
Yeah. That anti-fairy just spinning around.
Yeah.
Okay, he does need a key here. I hope he realizes.
Yeah, he also seems to be checking these last few chests along the way in the hopes of getting the silvers, but, well, we know that's not gonna happen. Let's see, what balls do we have here? Oh, there's our goals there. Wow, you really needed that fire rod to climb GT, it looks like.
Yeah, it's like, hey, just in case you know. Could be good for Andy. Like, as long as he skips the... Like, as long as he kills the cage, he can hover the gap and save a lot of time killing...
Yeah.
Not killing...
Yeah, that's a weird... yeah, you can't climb those stairs down there when the cage is still up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that, yeah.
I think Flynn was looking for a max heart fill or something.
I don't think so, because he'll be getting one from the Aga Tower after this.
Yeah, just curious what else he would be looking... Oh, right. Oh, he doesn't have silvers yet. Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's having a solid gauntlet right here. Making good use of the ice physics and the spins. Wow, really clean. Oh no. The Aga shots are getting really distinct.
Yeah, it's the last thing you want. The longer you take, the worse this fight gets, honestly.
Every cycle, 6 seconds. It hurts so much.
Yeah, and he's distinct enough at this point that he disappears before the clones find their shots, and that's why Aga 2 is normally so much quicker.
Yep.
So yeah, just Aga Tower left for Thalane, while Andy, once he's done, it will be able to just go straight into the Ganon fight. He's got a bonk across the hole here, the mirror.
Yeah, let's see how Thalane handles Aga Tower. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, there was some interesting enemies here, like, for example, that Hinox, like, best way to kill it, bomb.
Yeah, you just feel the time ticking.
Then we have some shades here in the room, and, well, you can hit them with your hook shot, but not when they're in the wall. It's very few, like, no super difficult enemies, but a fair few time-consuming enemies in here. And also some cheap shots like that fire bar there.
Oh wow, these fireballs just walking around.
Yeah, they do seem like the kind of enemy you typically see in a maze in a Zelda game, even if it wasn't further randomized, honestly.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, let's see. Andy. No, Andy. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he might be running into the glitch here if he doesn't break the shell.
He might be waiting until he crossed it.
Yeah, maybe.
And then use bombos. Yeah, and he made it.
Yeah, okay, he does realize that he needs to actually kill the shell before making his way down. But yeah, I do think Andy is going to reach Ganon first at this rate.
Yeah.
He's a really bad Aga too.
Yeah, and he played this GT really well.
Just the one to begin with, so that's a good sign for Thalane.
Wow,
good
very
triple though. Yeah, that's a very good triple. Just 2 more shots needed now. So he should be able to get that. Yep. And the signal on Thalane's side. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Summer is still going, and I think it might just be his capture messing up.
Uh-oh.
And Thalane is back and visible. Good. He is currently fighting Aga while Andy is fighting Ganon. So at this rate, I think we can safely say that Andy is very likely gonna win this.
Yeah, barring any major mistakes, he has to be careful with some hits there.
Yeah,
But,
that's true,
yeah.
but he's past the difficult part of the fight now.
Yeah, and he still has 2 bottles or something. He was stocked up. Yeah, especially with silvers, there is so little risk in phase 4.
Yeah, like he doesn't even have to get close to the edge, really. He might still opt to get close to the edge, though. Now, this position isn't good for any doubles or triples. Ooh, and this position, on the other hand, is really good for triples.
There we go. Yeah. And with that, Andy will be our 2018 Fall Tournament champion.
Yep.
What a way to end this race.
That makes him the overall champion of both spring and fall tournaments in 2018.
Very dominant showing this year. Last year.
But yeah, good game to Andy. Well-deserved victory.
Yeah, very well played.
I can see in chat that Andy's fans are definitely happy he won.
Yeah!
But it's good for Andy to win. I can actually finally focus on getting back to the NMG grind. And speaking of getting back to the NMG grind, hello Andy.
Hello.
So, what are your feelings on Helmacopter?
I love Helmacopter. I'm so happy it finally happened for me in this tournament.
He was just as happy to see you.
I forgot how laggy that fight is, though. It's crazy
Yeah.
laggy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a bunch of really laggy things in Randomizer. Like, there's also Trinex over in Ganon's Tower. That was also pretty laggy.
Yeah.
Also,
That Trinex fight is it's interesting with the little shooter in the corner. It makes things totally different.
Yeah, I didn't even realize Trinex would bump into that little shooter and go up earlier in the second phase.
Yeah, I died to that once, so I was ready for that. But yeah, this scene was really fun. It allowed for a lot of variation with how many items you got pretty early. Sequence breaking Death Mountain, getting the lamp in the mirror, flute being in desert, a lot of different stuff you could do.
Yeah, we saw two completely different perspectives of this seed, actually.
It was amazing to watch, especially nearing the end. And it looks like we're joined by Flynn as well. GG's.
Yo, GG's, Andy.
Yeah, GG's Thalane.
Yeah, it was an amazing race to watch. Just we really didn't know how much difference there would be in the end, just with how divergent your routes were and the way things shaped out.
Yeah, because Thalane actually did end up going entering go mode a little bit earlier than you did, Andy, but not early enough to make the difference.
Yeah, I was really worried about tile room because I was like, I'm not gambling on tile room. This is too much time loss if it's not here. I know it can't be right side GT, so let's just leave. Let's do Aghanim and check the sewer chest because I still have that to do. And then we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, just do something you know you have to do anyway while figuring out what your best option is for checking for the fire rod.
I think
Okay.
I can't believe that both of us skipped Skullwood's check early on. That was really
I
funny
know,
to me
right?
because that's like something I never skip, and like no one ever skips. We just had so much to do with this scene that it was like it's not worth it.
Yeah. The beautiful part was that it looked like the seed was just leading you towards Pyramid Ferry with the hint and mire, and then getting bombos,
It's
getting
like, well,
GT
GT's
access.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it turns out that was entirely bait because that fire rod was just waiting for you in the front of Skullwoods all along, and you never even needed to do the Pyramid Ferry at all. Well, unless you
Everything
wanted the
was-
silver arrows, I guess.
it was crazy how much was just immediately available.
Yeah, it was all because of the Moon Pearl being pushed fairly late into the seed, so it had to give you all kinds of stuff to make that possible.
I was really worried about Moon Pearl or something being in Eastern Big Chest because I completely forgot to open it the first time. Right when I got the first chest from the dark room, I was like, all right, how am I going to approach getting to Eastern Boss through that dark room? And of course, it had a Lionel in there.
Oh, yeah,
ended up owning
that
me,
Lionel was
and then
so
I died.
unfortunate.
I died, and then I left, and I was like, wait, did I open the big chest? I'm just like, oh god, I hope there's stuff in I mean, either way, I think if Moon Pearl wasn't there, I was going to sequence break up Death Mountain anyways.
Yeah, that ended up working out pretty well, because if you hadn't sequence broken up there, you would have had to double dip Desert to get the flute there.
Yeah, so that was nice. And then like the fire source there, I was like, okay, well, I can 100% beat Hera now. Hopefully, assuming the boss is fine. But
Yeah, the bosses were mostly
yeah.
fine, honestly. Like, the only one that was a real block for you was the Trinex in Ganon's Tower.
yeah. I also had a nice laugh, like right when we both finished. Lane was like, "Guess what I did? I forgot the uncle sword."
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on lately. I think I'm just getting a little old.
Well, it has been a long tournament.
Yeah, I feel like in the last like 7 seeds or something, I always forget like one major detail about the mode. So that's that helped me out against Korek. I guess it might have helped me out yesterday, and today I don't know. I think I still would not have won this. Maybe, I have no idea.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, like right when we finished yesterday, and then it was like, "We're gonna do the same thing except Uncle Sword." All right, I'm like, cool, sure. I'll just do escape for like going into today. I was like, "That's fine. I'll just beeline to Uncle. I'll do the front of escape, and then
And then go from there.
yeah. And and I, with Uncle Assured Sword, that's pretty much the general route. With
I mean, that was
mode.
that were my thoughts yesterday too, but apparently I forgot while I was asleep or something.
That's pretty funny, actually. Because, yeah, it would have helped a little bit. You would have had your Master Sword earlier, and you would have sped up a couple of those Argai a little.
But yeah,
Yeah.
It's It's finally over.
Well, there is still one more match that is going to happen in the tournament later
There
today.
is Game 5 for bronze match. I'm
The
excited.
Game 5, the bronze match for Willa J. Bradley versus Korak at, I believe, 7 p.m. Eastern. And in addition to that, since the finals have now concluded, and once again, congratulations on being the tournament champion, Andy.
Thank
Announcement
you.
to make as one of the admins of the tournament. First things first, major news: there will be no spring tournament this year. We aren't certain yet when the next tournament will be. It will be after SGDQ. We know that much for certain. We're not certain on the exact timeline. Like, we want to give the randomizer a chance to get updated, give everybody a chance to get a break, because it's been non-stop ALTTPR tournament season for almost 2 years at this point.
Uh-huh.
So, hoping it will help revitalize the community a little. And a big thank you to everybody who's been helping out. Like, obviously, a big thank you to the runners for joining the races, agreeing to being broadcast, all that. But also, of course, a thank you to everybody behind the scenes. I believe we've had well over 100 different volunteers helping on tracking, restreaming, and of course the more visible commentators. But and of course a bunch of volunteers on the Speed Gaming side too. It wouldn't have been possible to hold this tournament without you, and we're all very thankful for all the effort you put in. We'll also be posting a feedback form for future tournaments in the main tournament Discord shortly, so if you guys would like to give some feedback to us, that would be definitely appreciated. And last but not least, there will be no main big tournaments. There are a couple of smaller side tournaments still being planned. I believe most of those should be posted in the announcements of the regular Link to the Past Randomizer Discord.
We're never done.
And I believe that basically wraps it up. Unless one of you still has something to add.
I just want to give a huge shout out to thalane for being awesome and making it so far in this tournament. It's been crazy to see you improve so much. Yeah, that was basically it. Sorry.
Yeah, top 32 last tournament to top 2 this tournament is a pretty solid improvement. And then you also won like the German tournament.
Yeah, that's true.
The clash of the regions is what happened here, apparently.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result, and I just can agree with what Dude said. Just thank you for everyone, and GG's again, Andy. You definitely earned it, and yeah, thank you guys.
What are you guys' plans after this, for now? I know I heard something about Andy maybe trying some speedrunning stuff again. Not like I'm really trying to push you or anything, but
in the last year and a half, I guess, I've lost every single one of my Link to the Past records. So, I should probably try and take those back at some point. I might be doing low percent for the Super Metroid Zelda 3 Relay. Mario Maker 2 also just got announced on the Nintendo Direct, so I might just become a Mario Maker streamer. Who knows?
Oh no.
It was nice knowing you. Cut the stream. We're out of here.
But for real though, it'll be nice to not have to plan my weeks around tournaments and stuff, and have time to like do some speed runs, do some casual stuff.
Yep, just have some fun.
Exactly.
Well, I guess the same question to you, thalane. What are your plans for now? Are you joining the German tournament? Are you more focusing on speedruns for now?
I think I will join it, and just play in it and see how it goes. I guess no super hard ambition, to win it again. Obviously, that would be cool, but yeah, I'll just see how it goes, and I kind of want to focus more on NMG, but it's super hard to just sit there grind rooms hours and hours, and yeah, so maybe I can find some motivation to do that. Maybe beat Andy in an MG or something.
If I can do it, then you as well.
That's true. But yeah, no real plans, I guess, other than the German tournament, most likely.
All right.
Yeah, so let's see. Credits are almost done rolling on Andy's side. Wait. Oh, I guess you fast forward through the thalane. But yeah, just in favor of our German restream as well. I believe thalane will be giving a restream in German as well for any German viewers, in case you want to hear more from him.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hop over. GG's again, Andy, and thank you, everyone.
GG's, dude.
But yeah, on this side of things, we're done with the collection right now, appearing on Andy's side of the stream. He actually collected more items overall, jeez.
Yeah, he really blasted through the seeds. He's maybe looking a bit more comfortable with the Randomizer side of things. He wants to clear
maybe.
rooms more quickly.
Maybe.
Hard to say.
Regardless, it's done. And, well, we have our winner of the tournament. We just need to figure out who is in third place. Once again, later tonight, 7 PM, Willow J. Bradley versus Korek on ALTTPR Randomizer. And see you later, everybody.
Thanks for watching.